Welcome back to Ithaca BJJ. If you've been struggling in closed guard like many beginners, visiting Professor Vince Vanderlipe has you covered. Let's get started. The first thing to notice is Professor Vince's grips. He's actually gripping the inside of the arm on the bicep instead of the typical tricep grip. This actually gives him a little bit more control. He can trap the arm here, or he can keep it to the outside. Either way works for the setups in this video. Next, notice how Professor Vince sinks his fingertips into the armpit of VJ. This actually gives him more leverage. And depending on your opponent's reaction, you have a few options. If he pushes into you, you have a nice sweep that takes you straight to mount. Let's see that again. Now, he is explaining here how as your opponent pushes into you, you're going to pull to make him go further than what he actually wants to go. That's what makes that sweep successful. Now, some folks, what are they going to do? They're going to try to posture up to prevent the sweep. And notice here how Professor Vince makes a slight movement to his elbow to trap VJ's head. And then he locks his leg on his neck for the armbar. There it is again. He gets that head out, and there's our armbar. Professor Vince grabs that arm and locks it in. Now, what some opponents will do is they will try to hide this elbow to prevent that armbar. And their next move is to posture up. We want to catch them just before they posture up. Now notice here, Professor Vince catches that hand as VJ tries to hide that elbow, and he shoves it through, allowing him to lock up a triangle. Timing is extremely important here. Now, what some folks will do is they'll posture up, but Professor Vince still has that arm. He simply needs to rotate the hand backwards to lock in that armbar. Now, often folks think they need to bring this leg over, but that's not necessary because you have that nice triangle lock. VJ's only escape is to move backward. So here's a quick review of those first three options. We climb the back, we wrap him up. If he postures up, we have an armbar. If he comes forward, we have that sweep that takes us straight to mount. If he tries to hide that elbow, we shove it through before he can posture up, and we can lock in the triangle. Now, what some folks will do here is they'll hide that arm because it takes pressure off of that artery. But check out this slick move from Professor Vince. He reverses his triangle configuration. You see? Compare this to the actual triangle attack. This actually gives him access to that arm that VJ is trying to hide. And there's a very simple kimura coming up. He's also explaining here how this reverse position is actually tighter and more uncomfortable and a bit painful for your opponent. Now, with access to that arm, he can hit a kimura without even setting in a full kimura grip. He just grabs the elbow and pushes the wrist upward. Sinking in a full kimura grip will be difficult here, but it's not even necessary. Just push up. And there you have it, folks. That's pretty sneaky. Thanks again for watching. And check out this next video that YouTube thinks you'll like. And remember to like and subscribe.